Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're doing a quick breakdown of the Interceptor Javelin. We're going to talk about weapons, abilities, support abilities, which ability is a primer and which is a detonator. If you'd like to check out my Storm and Ranger Javelin breakdown, links are in the description below. We're going to use parts of Dragonfire 04's chart once again. Let's begin. So the Interceptor uses the same type of weapons as Ranger and Storm, which are every weapon besides heavy weapon. With that being said, let's start with assault systems. The first thing in the assault system we have is a Secret Glaive. The Secret Glaive does kinetic damage, and as far as we know, it is neither a primer or a detonator. The ability is pretty much what it says. It's a glaive that you throw and it will seek out enemies for you. If you're wondering what a glaive is, try to picture a weapon that has triple blades on it and you can throw it. What we have next is called Venom Bomb. I know it says Acid Bomb on the chart, but the EA's website says Venom Bomb. Venom Bomb is also a pretty simple ability. It is a grenade that you throw and it will add acid damage to all nearby enemies. It is also a primer. Next we have is Cryo Glaive. Cryo Glaive locks up onto two nearby targets and freezes them on impact. Seems like a pretty cool ability to have. It instantly frees enemies. So if you do want to freeze someone right away, that will probably be the ability you want to use. Next we have Cluster Mine. Cluster Mine is another pretty simple ability to use. All you have to do is throw out a group of mines onto a targeted area. Once you do that and enemies step on it, they blow up. Cluster Mine does blast damage, and as far as we know, it is neither a primer nor a detonator. Next and final assault system we have is called Spark Dash. When you use this ability, Interceptor will dash forward, leaving behind damaging trails of electricity. Spark Dash does electric damage and it's a detonator. Now you may be wondering, how do you detonate somebody with just a trail of electricity? Well, you don't have to just use the trail of electricity, you can actually dash into an enemy head first, detonating them. Now let's move on to the strike systems. The next strike system is called Detonating Strike. The devs changed the name from Shadow Claw to Detonating Strike, that's why you see Shadow Claw on the chart. Detonating Strike and or Shadow Claw does a melee strike that charges an enemy with electric energy. If killed while charged, the enemy will explode, dealing damage around them. We don't know whether or not the ability is a primer or a detonator, however it is confirmed that the ability does lightning damage. Next we have Plasma Star. Plasma Star is a single target ability that is effective at long range. Your Interceptor basically tosses a plasma empowered shuriken at enemies. As far as we know, Plasma Star does kinetic damage. It is neither a primer nor a detonator, but this is all subject to change. Next ability we have is called Wraith Strike. Wraith Strike sends out a projection of the Interceptor to attack enemies. This could be used very defensively, especially if you're really low on health. You could pop a Wraith Strike, send out somebody else to take aggro while you can heal up. It is neither a primer nor a detonator, and as far as damage goes, I think it will just be raw kinetic damage. Next we have Tempest Strike. Tempest Strike is a melee ability that strikes and deals high physical damage and force. Tempest Strike is a detonator, and it also does blast damage as far as we know. However, once again, this is all subject to change. The next and final strike system we have is called Venom Spray. It is also known as Corrosive Spray. Venom Spray sprays out corrosive acid that deals damage on all enemies that are hit. Venom Spray is also a primer. Interceptor's melee ability is called Double Bladed Daggers. Unlike most Javelin, melee is a very big part when it comes down to the Interceptor. And that is because, 1, their melee do not have a cooldown, so you could slice through all the enemies you want, and 2, it is a detonator. So if somebody is primed, you could go in there, just melee somebody and detonate them. Interceptor's ultimate ability is called Assassin's Blade, and it is essentially just the melee ability but augmented. Alright, allow me to explain. So, when you pop the ultimate, you pull out these two blades. However, you do a lot more damage and you gain resilience, so that way you're not taking a lot of damage. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but there are a lot of very close range abilities when it comes down to the Interceptor. And that is because the Interceptor excels in getting close to deal damage to the enemies. Its primary focus is agility and its offensive style is single target. And the one thing a lot of these abilities have in common is that they are primarily focused on one target at a time. Now that we've gotten over all of the offensive ability, let's go over some of the support abilities. First, we have Target Beacon. Target Beacon marks an enemy, allowing allies to do increased damage to them. Now don't get this ability confused with the ability with Ranger. Ranger ability opens up a field that you can be in, dealing extra damage to everyone. However, this ability, you can only focus on one target. So I can see myself primarily using this ability against bosses. The next ability we have is called Rally Cry. Rally Cry clears harmful status effects from the entire team. This is a great ability, especially if you like having a support responsibility. This ability can be very crucial in big fights, especially if you have any status effects left on you. For instance, if your Javelin is on fire, you are not going to be able to fly. And as we all know, in-air combats could be very crucial in this game, especially if you're a Storm. And this pretty much brings us to the end of our video, guys. I will link all of the sources in the description below. If you have any questions or concerns, drop them in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer them. If you found this video informative, a like would be much appreciated. If you want to stick around for more Anthem content, hit that subscribe button.